In 2008, shortly after becoming chancellor of the public school system, Michelle rescheduled 23 public schools for closure due to under-enrollment or poor physical condition. Despite the fact that Bruce Monroe Elementary School in the Parkview neighborhood of Washington, D.C. met neither of those conditions, the school was scheduled for closure and demolished in April of 2010. A $1.5 million park was temporarily put in its place. Deciding what to do with the site permanently has been contentious and ongoing. Community members who never wanted the school demolished in the first place want to see the school rebuilt. Those with an eye on property values in the Parkview neighborhood have other ideas. The Office of the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development convened a meeting on August 10th to present the city's request for proposals for the redevelopment of Bruce Monroe Elementary School. Developers received notice of the meeting via email. Parents of former Bruce Monroe students did not.
I'll follow that up with an overview of the site as it currently exists.
Having been promised a new school, the parents showed up anyway.
We had to move to Parkview School with the promise that they were moving out. We were moving out because they were going to rebuild the school. And we have find out that he's going to do it private-public, which is something that we don't agree with it. The school belongs to the children. It's not for the private investors to build whatever they want to build. They're just for profit. This is not about profit. This is about education, which is going to change our children's life.
Although Bruce Monroe had structural issues that the community was working to address, Parkview Elementary, the school that Bruce Monroe students have been attending, has problems of its own. Crystal Sylvie, a social worker at Parkview, describes the situation.
The building was literally falling apart. Half the building couldn't be used. Ceilings were coming, caving in. And so they did do renovations. They spent a lot of money. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's just the same as it was before, but it's still not adequate. And there's still a lot of problems. Last year there was, and I'm assuming it's still happening, significant rodent infestation and all sorts of bugs. It's gross. You know, the mayor's children are not there, the chancellor's children are not there. They don't have to be in schools in that condition. So yes, has been improvements, but no, that should not be the condition of the school that children go to.
For many parents, the location of the school is also a problem.
And right now where I am is so far from my house because they also closed the other one that it was close to my house. So I have to walk like a 25 to 30 minutes walk every day one way. And that's very frustrating for me. And I don't have a car, so I need my neighborhood school where I can walk every morning and pass by and see the kids. There's no school around my neighborhood, and we need a school as soon as possible.
Whether or not the neighborhood gets the school that it was promised or something completely different seems to be in the hands of the Office of the Deputy Mayor and the developers responding to the city's request for proposals. Parents who were at the table when School Chancellor Rhee, Mayor Fenty, and Ward 1 Councilmember Jim Graham promised them a new school were not exactly welcomed by the representative of Howard University's Gadget Center, where the meeting was held.
How many parents can we have families come in? How many families can we have coming from the school? Even if it's standing room like this, if these people are standing in the back, can we have 2 to 3 families come in? We don't want to be disruptive. We want to participate.
You've got to let the parents in.
The parents are in. This is not just about the school and about your needs and about what you want.
That's a DC public school property.
There's a whole community of people that live in this neighborhood besides yourself. That's why you have been invited to participate in this.
We should have been invited. We should have facilitated the process.
But it's not all about you.
I'm not going to get in debate with you. Right now I'm trying to find out how many parents can be a part of the conversation for redeveloping
We're
Bruce
full
Monroe.
Now, and there are parents that are in that room
Okay,
now.
there's one parent in there and the
full.
rest of the developers and
I'm going to have to ask
members.
you all to step outside now.
So you're telling me right now this
And
is a
I told
community
you at the
meeting.
beginning that we
But you're telling
supported
me
your
that-
expression here,
Okay.
and you've taken that. I will not have you come
Okay,
onto Howard
right now,
University
the only thing I've
property
been asking,
and disrupt
the
this
only
meeting like
question
you're
I've been
attempting
asking,
to do now.
how many parents
step
can
outside.
come in the meeting?
Please
How
step
many
outside.
parents can come into the meeting and participate? That's what I'm trying to find out.
In the end, 3 parents were able to attend the meeting. Although school stakeholders are aware of the promises made regarding Bruce Monroe, the rest of the community seems less informed. Sylvia Robinson of the Georgia Avenue Community Task Force shared her version of events leading up to the release of the current RFP.
My original thought, just without, just reading articles in the paper every now and then, was that, okay, well, it's one of the underutilized schools. They combined them and they moved them to Parkview. I learned later that it wasn't an underutilized school, that there had been an agreement made. We're walking to my place. That there had been an agreement made that the students would move to Parkview temporarily and then a school would be rebuilt. There was a commitment by the city to put $21 million into the building of a new school. I was at the meeting with Ree and the Bruce Monroe parents and Jim Graham when that happened, and I was left with the understanding that there was this commitment to building a new school. Then found out that money was not really there to build a new school. It was spread out over 5 or 6 years or something like that. Now they're going to put out this RFP, and now the RFP has this 2 options. So I'm not sure what the city's commitment is to building a new school.
It was clear to parents leaving the meeting that the city's commitment to building a new school on the site is at best weak.
The city will have it, not the community. The community only will be able to submit, how do you say, comments and support what we want and what we don't want, but we're not going to be making the final decision. The city will be making, Fenty will be making the final decision.
That's what they said to you?
No, that's what
they said.
buyers say to everybody. Because we were asking questions, so I'm like, so what role does the community play in this? If he's saying that, okay, we will be able to agree and disagree, but that's it, we'll not be able to make decisions. So basically, Fenty will decide.
Rebuild Bruce Monroe!
Fenty will go with where the money is.
Yeah.
And they say that, if it's only commercial, whatever money is left is going to go towards the renovation of Parkview.
That's a total violation of everything that they've told the community for the last.
And then they were saying, but why are you trying to do this? Why do you want us to invest in another school that is not Bruce Monroe?
Right.
The point of view of the developers in the meeting was also represented.
I've been down this road. No developer is going to go in there without your support. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you know that this community has been lied to and tricked repeatedly?
I can't get into that.
So this is where we are today. This is where we are today.
I know you're emotional. I know you are. No. This is what I'm saying. I know that this is a process where it seems like the rug's being pulled. Please, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Parents tried to prevent having the rug pulled out from underneath them by asking to have the promise to rebuild the school put in writing. They made this request of Mayor Adrian Fenty, Schools Chancellor Michelle Rhee, and Council Member Jim Graham, but were repeatedly refused.
Government promises a lot. And it's up to groups like this to actually make sure that ensure it. So I say keep on going to ensure that the school comes back. But as long as they provide something else, it's okay.
But according to parent Miguel Rosario, it's not okay if the city simply provides another site.
Bruce Monroe has a problem that the community is not getting. The community is not being involved because there's a negligence of the administration. Don't want the community to know what's going on. But the families of Ward 1 and the families from Bruce Monroe, they are very engaged and they need all the support that they need to ask some critical questions that is very important to our community, not in Ward 1, but also around the district. So I'm here to support them on the new adventures of getting a real true school for their children.
The parents and friends of Bruce Monroe demand that the current RFP be withdrawn and that the school be rebuilt without a commercial element. Vincent Gray and the City Council will have to decide which is more important: keeping their word to DC residents and rebuilding a neighborhood school as promised, or attracting investors to the site that may or may not cater to the needs of current residents. On behalf of Empower DC's Grassroots Media Project, this is Leanne Scott.